Our spring trip in France now takes to the Loire Valley, but the first job was to collect our oldest son. He'd been off hiking in the Pyrenees with friends he went to uni with. With campsites only just starting to open, we're heading for another camping car park at St Jean d'Angely. From a distance you can spot the twin towers of the Royal Abbey. The camping car park is next to a park on the edge of the town, which was perfect for our dogs. The town is situated on the pilgrim route to Santiago de Compostela in northern Spain, where we'd been last year. We had a bread van turn up on the camping car park to give us our breakfast supplies before we headed off to Langeais for the following day. This was our lunch stop, and the last time we was here was about 16 years ago. There's a gorgeous chateau in the village with plenty of streets to wander along and places to eat. And for us, it gave us the opportunity to recreate a photo. After lunch and a wander, we travelled a short distance to Valandry. Again, we're using the camping car park for the night, which is on the edge of the small village. The far side is the amazing chateau with the grounds. The chateau has been through a few transformations over the years, and in the 19th century it was owned by Jerome Bonaparte, the younger brother of Napoleon. At the beginning of the 1900s, the chateau was bought by two scientists. Now, after restoring the buildings, they turned their attention to the 7 hectares of gardens, and boy, are they spectacular. Just below the chateau windows is the Garden of Love. There's 4 hedge boxes here that represent the states of love: tender love, passionate love, flighty love and tragic love. The other 4 hedges are the Garden of Crosses. Within the grounds there's also the water gardens, the ornamental kitchen garden, the maze, As you first enter, there's a forest and wooded area you can walk through. The sun garden with a star-shaped pond. And the herb garden. Although the village is small, there's a few places to eat in between the chateau and the camping car park. The following morning our tour continued along the Loire to Amboise. We had planned to visit here, but it was so busy and there was very little parking for motorhomes, so we just made a lunch stop and a view from a distance of the chateau there. We did find a great chocolatier though, so not all was lost. On to Chambord. Now this definitely needs to be on your list to visit, and I was just a little bit sad there was work being done while we were there. With having our dogs with us, we didn't go inside the chateau, and there was queues to go in anyway, but we made the most of the vast grounds. But watch out for those golf buggies that people use to get around on. They do creep up quietly. Parking for our motorhome was €11, and that was a 24-hour ticket. So you are able to overnight here, which is what we did, along with quite a few other vans. Once all the day visitors had left, our boys took advantage of the overspill car park and were able to have a good run around off the lead. Near the chateau is a courtyard area with a couple of retail places. There's shops and a bistro, but these close when the chateau do, so there's nowhere to eat in the evening. Entry and exit is through the estate forest, probably the old hunting ground. This does go on for quite a few miles. Away from the Loire is Chateau de la Motte-Husson. Now we visited this early on in our trip. You recognise it, don't you? It's the one that Dick and Angel own from Escape to the Chateau. I had emailed ahead saying, would you mind just popping in for a photo? And they said, not at all. There's a parking space and even a postcard you can pick up to say you've been. Chateau de Bel Air is the final chateau we visited. Now we discovered this by chance while we were staying at the camping car park at Le Pétry, and this was just on the edge of the village. Again, it was another one that was having some work done, so you weren't able to look around. There's plenty of other chateaux along the Loire, so hopefully this is just giving you an idea of what's out there.